Welcome back to the Topping Off podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Sterling. Today, I've got a double act joining us from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Antonio Contreras is a partner and project manager with America's General Contracting, Calgary-based construction and renovation firm doing renovations, basement developments, kitchen and bath. He holds a Bachelor of Architecture from Universidad de los Andes in Venezuela and brings over 15 years, probably 20 years, as we did our math in the pre-show, of construction experience across Venezuela and Canada. Alongside him is his wife, Sofia, founder and lead designer of In Color Studio, their in-house design department with a Bachelor of Industrial Design and, again, 20 years of interior design work in kitchens and bath. Antonio and Sofia, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Great. So for folks hearing about your company for the first time, we would love to get an idea of where you came from and what you're doing and what is Calgary like right now.
Well, you can start.
I was going to let you take the lead. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you again for the invite. We are so excited to be here and share this time with you guys and our story. We are originally from Venezuela. We met over there just starting the university. After a couple of years, we got married, a couple kids. We started with our business over there in architecture, and we moved. Well, I moved in 2013. I came first to Canada with no English, with a lot of expectations about Canada. And after a few months, Sofia came with my kids. And so since 2014, we have been living in Canada, especially specifically here in Calgary. In 2015, I started working with the first architecture firm here in Calgary. And I have been working, I started working as a construction contract administrator. For 3 different companies for 10 years. And after that, in parallel, Sofia was working as a freelancer in interior design. And one day, we decided why not to jump in the contracting side. She didn't know about it. I knew about it. So I started working part-time with her. So working in small projects during evenings and weekends. And finally, in 2023, we started just to jump in the full-time,
Renovating. So to tell you a little bit about Americas and why the name, like Antonio said, we're originally from Venezuela, but the name really has meaning for us. It's basically the bridge between where we come from, which is South America, Venezuela, and what it is today, our home, Calgary. It has a profound meaning to us, what America's meant. And like Antonio said, in 2023 is when we decided to go all in. I was doing interior design on my own since 2017 as a freelancer, like he said. And he said, why not do renovations ourselves? We had our own construction company back home, and he already had a lot of knowledge of the industry here in Canada. And so that's when he decided to, let's do it. And it's been great so far. So.
Mm-hmm. And was In Color Studio born at the same time that Americas was, or?
No. So In Color Studio was born in 2017.
Okay. Got it.
Yes.
That was your freelance practice that basically went into the umbrella. Okay. Got it. And what, I guess, are there some characteristic differences in terms of how things are built in Venezuela versus how they're built in Canada?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a huge difference. Starting with the construction system, it's a completely different. In Venezuela, we design to get in the building the elements, natural elements, and here in Canada it's completely the opposite. So we do our engineering for the houses to keep the elements inside the house. So just with that basis in design and construction systems is a completely different story. That's part of my my beginnings here in Canada, I started looking for jobs like a project manager in architecture, project manager in construction, because this is what I did back home. Fortunately, nobody hired me for that position. And after once I started with the first company, I realized that it was a completely different story. And with time, I learned about too many things about terms, construction terms, engineering systems, building codes, and this is where I really emerged in the North America construction system or industry. And it's a big difference between construction in Venezuela and North America.
And what does the team look like between both companies or like separately? However you'd like to answer.
So basically, it's me as the lead designer. Antonio is the general contractor, and then we have a design assistant. We have our bookkeeper and admin person. We have a site supervisor,
Accountant. We have a drafting and rendering staff as well in house.
So we're a total of 7.
Nice. And where are you finding, or I guess, what is the Calgary market like right now for building?
Well, right now Calgary is different. It's different. Like comparing with last year. Last year was a high market, I can say, in construction. A lot of renovations, but you could also see it in the real estate industry. A lot of houses were selling here in Calgary, but this year the people has been cautious about decisions and buying homes or renovating homes. We can see that the market has dropped this year. I think the clients are more selective this year, but for us, this year has been better than last year. So it's internally for us has been better, but generally speaking, we can see that the market is slower than last year.
Would you, now this year being better than last year, would you attribute that to anything that you're doing differently?
Definitely, I think internally is something that we have built with prestige in our company. Our main source of leads is referrals. And so we started, as we mentioned before, in 2023. And with years, this has been like a snowball. It has been growing with the referrals. And that's why this year we can see that more referrals from clients that we
already worked.
we worked last year. And I think that's like
we're also doing a few things different.
That's true.
We started participating in the home show, which I think it's been a great source of leads and clients. A great way to be exposed. So
I think this face-to-face client versus a general contractor company, so they can meet the people that is behind the brand, and having this person-to-person contact in these shows is key, especially for us. And a few new clients that we have had, they have shared that this connection that we have built with them in these shows is what they trust, I can say.
With those conversations, good conversations that we've been having with at the time potential leads during the show, it's what basically opened those doors for deeper conversations, that trust between the client and ourselves. And because we're being authentic, right? We're not trying to impress anybody. We just want to show who we are, the product that we can deliver, and that's what is making them take that decision to go with us for the renovating project.
Sure. And Sofia, I'd love to dive into kind of like your approach to the home show. Like, if you would tell me about your booth, like how many people staffed it, what was like follow-up procedure like?
So in the first home show, we had a very small booth, your typical 10 by 10. Of course, it was our first one, so we didn't know what to expect. We tried to incorporate, of course, our branding, our process, because we want to be very transparent about how our process looks like and set up the expectations right as well. I feel like there's a lot of gaps out there where people think that a renovation can take certain amount of time, but it depends so much on the scope, the year of the house. Is it a newer home, an older home? And so we try to be very transparent since the beginning, and of course incorporating into our booth the interior design part. We want to make sure that people appreciate design as well, because they could go with any general contractor, right? But what we bring to the table is that husband wife combo, two design professionals. Antonio, like we said in the beginning, he's an architect with background in construction, and myself being the lead designer. So I think we bring a lot to the table, and I think clients appreciate that. And then in the second show, which is the one in January, we did the bigger one, the 20 by 10. And again, I tried to incorporate that house feel into the booth. And I already started thinking on what we're going to do about the next one.
Is it just the two of you, or do you have additional staff that come to the booth with you?
Yeah, we have. We have a staff that joined us for these shows. We have a sales representative as well. He's a very knowledge man in the industry with more than 30 years experience in construction. He's the one who, I think he's the main character for us in these shows. And that's the person that we trust, or we trust our company in his face.
We're there in the
we're
show,
there
right?
all the
Because
time.
people want to talk to us. I think being a small company, it's also a benefit. People directly talk to us. If they have any construction questions, they can go talk to Antonio. If they have any design questions, they can talk to me, and basically meet everyone at the home show, because we're so small that most of us are there. So
That's great. And I always ask when people are doing home shows, do you find a difference between clients that you gain from a home show versus like an average client that comes through a referral?
yes, I think there's a big difference. The referral, I think there is a trust, an indirect trust that is built already, because it's a friend that we already work with, right? Or a family member, and they've seen what we do. They have been in the house, they have entertained there, they have, right, share the space, and so they've seen the product, they know how we work and the service, and then that kind of like creates that initial trust that people are, or bond, that people are looking for. Whereas in the show, we're just building that for the first time.
Sure. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Do you have a sense? Do you have a sense of an average of people that you meet at a home show, how ready they are to start a project? Like, is it 3 months, 6 months? Do they want to start immediately?
Yeah, we have leads for all type of projects, and also for different time frames projects. We have also just curious people that they go there for walking and see what's the new in the industry. We have also competitors that they are like in the incognito in the in our booth. It's like a mix of everyone. It's different projects, different timelines.
I think also it's good to point out that it depends on the home show as well. Like we found that the fall home show, so the one in September, they were a lot of leads or people that were I'm not going to say just curious, but they have no idea what a renovation would cost. They haven't done it in a while, or they never done it. And so they want to get a sense of, okay, how much would it cost to do this, this, and this? Whereas in the January show, I think people were more, yeah, this is what we're going to do. We have floor plans. A lot of people with a lot of information, plans, which we can appreciate too. It's of course part of the process, but I think people were more ready.
Sorry, you're the second.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that in the fall, I felt like we needed to follow up more, whereas in January people were phoning.
Yeah, that makes sense. So one more question on home shows. I don't want to eat up too much of your time on that. Are there any pitfalls that you would warn people against who are thinking about doing their first home show that you recommend that they watch out for?
Well, listen your sales representative from the show. I think you need to listen their advice about which booth you need to choose depending of what you are offering. They have the experience, and if they tell you that this is the right booth for you, I think you need to listen. Also is the budget. The budget is important. How much budget you have for this booth. For us, I think the first time it was like, oh wow, so it's all this money that we will spend this show.
Because it's not only the booth, right, that you're paying for. You have
it's branding. It's a lot of things.
Make your brand stand out. It's a lot of time that you're going to spend there. If you have people from your team spending 3 days, 8 hours or maybe more there. So you have to consider all that. But I think it's worth it.
Yeah,
I think we were not sure in the beginning, but after we did our first one, we're like,
yeah, this is something that we definitely have to do.
Definitely worth for, at least in our industry.
Sure. Yeah. And when you were talking about the cost in addition to the booth itself, I went to the New York Builds show back in March, which is like the big all construction New York City show. And a bottle of water was like $8 at the trade show. That's like hundreds of dollars just to keep people hydrated.
Yes. Yeah. I guess one advice would be, depending on how much time people are trying to spend there, but maybe try eat before you go, because definitely food is expensive inside.
Sure.
Yeah. Another thing is you need to plan with a lot of time ahead.
Planning.
What you want to do, because there are a lot of things that takes time in terms of design, or if you want to order things outside Canada, that's gonna take you this lead time. So you need to plan this with,
or even locally.
That's true.
It's not like you can't get things within weeks, right? A couple of weeks. You have to plan ahead.
Sure. No, that definitely makes sense. And I know we talked about most of your business coming from referrals and trade shows. Do you have sort of a target customer that you're seeking out, or is it basically just like depending on the projects that people are bringing in?
That's a good question, because actually we have been talking a lot about this, the next step for us, and what is this client that we are seeking for our next projects. And we are actually ready for a new home. I think that's going to be our next step. Of course, we are happy to do rentals, and this is a big challenge. But if you think about rentals is like going backwards and start from scratch. So it's like preparing the site for something new. And rather than starting with a new building that you need to prepare the land and starting for a new building. It's different. Also for the trades and the people or the person that is working with you, is to build this team that is capable of building this new home. We are ready. We have built this trust team with us, and this is like our target is to have the right client for our
like our first new build.
Mhm.
In terms of renovations, I think our ideal client, I would say, is again that one client that wants to see the project from the design phase and appreciates design all the way to construction and, of course, the final reveal. I think people who want to make their homes unique, not your typical builder grade, repeat and repeat, right?
And the ideal client as well is a person who trusts the process, who trusts our company and trusts our team. I think that's key for any project that we do, is to have the proper client who trusts in every single step that we're doing. Because at the end, we really understand that it's your home, it's your money, it's your ideas that you want to bring, and you want to make sure that everything that we presented is going to be built as is. And but we have had also clients who trust in the whole process, and the projects have been so
So smooth.
smooth, and at the end you have the best results. So that is something that I would like to advise also to the future clients and the people who are thinking about renovations: is trust your team, trust your company, and the project is going to be smoother than just being.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean that there's not going to be hiccups or unforeseen scenarios, because we always talk about it in the beginning, especially when you're dealing with older homes. We won't know until we open it up, right? But trust the professionals that we will be able to come up with a solution that you will be informed through the process. How are we going to achieve that solution together?
And in terms of transcending the homes from builder grade and like pushing towards uniqueness, what are some of the trends that you see that people are?
I feel like right now, a lot of people, of course, it's a very lower percentage, but especially in Calgary, because I feel like we're always behind when it comes to design trends, but are more daring into bold colors. There's been a lot of talk about color drenching and things like that. I feel like people are more open, which is great to see. Not your typical, I don't know, gray and grage or beige or neutral wall and neutral space that has no character. It's people being a little bit more bold when it comes to patterns, colors, wallpapers, things like that.
Nice. And we kind of talked about the referrals, home shows, and then it's kind of like target person that you're looking for. Are there other parts of your marketing that you're doing that you feel like are noteworthy, like that you find to be effective?
We're working on it.
Yeah,
No, we haven't seen the results yet. We've been focusing right now on our SEO, but we're working on it.
Yeah.
It's been more like that organic, and we want to be more effective. But I think there's a few things that we're still needing to tweak. So we're in the process of it.
Yeah, gotcha. I'd love to talk a little bit about the collaboration that the two of you have. When talking about design professionals, like it's quite a gem to have that kind of like all under one roof. How much crossover do you have together? Like Antonio, obviously, you have to focus on delivering the construction. So, are you spending time with Sofia to help design, or is it sort of like as needed?
Yeah, definitely, because that's a good question, Kevin. Because in terms of design, has to be bonded with construction, so you cannot design everything that you wish or you like in paper without thinking how that's gonna build, and that's key for us. And having design and build in the same roof, under the same roof, is key to bring the design 100% constructible. Mm-hmm. That's key, and that's where my input goes with Sofia. Hey, Antonio, I want to have this for this owner, and what do you think about it? So I advise with details, construction details. Okay, we can do this in this way. That give us also will mitigate the risk of having price that are not accurate, mm-hmm. because we know from the beginning how it's going to build. So this helps us a lot with the estimating process and having an accurate price, as I said at the beginning.
And that's a good point, Antonio, because and just to let you know, Kevin, because we work with a fixed cost model, mm-hmm. and so we have to be as accurate as possible when we do our pricing. And so working together, so this is, and Antonio is present in every meeting, like when we're in that design concept phase, he's aware of what I'm going to present and the materials that I have selected and so on. And so he already knows and will let the client know, yes, so this design that you see here on paper, this is how much it's going to cost. Yeah.
And we've had guests on the show that also do fixed price model and have strong in-house design. And one of the things that they have kind of cited is to be able to achieve that fixed control of the delivery cost, they spend a significant more amount of time in the design phase. Do you find that also, or do you feel like you've kind of created a process that like can do it in a streamlined manner?
No, absolutely. I think we're very meticulous when it comes to creating our estimates. Sometimes we have, and I think it's been a few clients from the home show actually that were in a little bit of a rush, and they're like, well, but roughly how much that's going to cost me, right? And we're like, okay, we can only provide you with a budget estimate. And in our experience, we think without drafting anything or haven't even been at your house, we think it could be this much. But at this point, I think we always like to have the first discovery call. We learn about the project, what the vision is, the intent. If they want to meet us, we go to their house, we see the house, we talk in depth of what the scope of work is. We create a design concept. Then if they're happy with that concept, we bring our crew. They meet everyone. The crew is there. So if they note anything that hasn't been accounted for internally, then they like, okay, guys, you need to include this. And that's how we get to create that fixed cost estimate.
In terms of staffing crews to deliver the work, do you have you worked with the same people for a really long time that you kind of have a shared culture of how things are going to be done? Or have you documented like a really strict framework of, this is what we expect and how we operate? Or how do you manage that?
Do you want to answer that?
No, you can.
I would say both. We have been working with a crew for some time now. They know how we work and what we expect. Mm-hmm. And I think here the important thing is that Antonio is there every day. He's inspecting the work, making sure that what we have on the drawings, it's what it's getting done to our standard. If anything needs to be fixed, he's there. For us, I think the key of any renovation is communication. And like you said, documenting everything for ourselves, but also for the client, for transparency. Mm-hmm. So we, after, let's just say we just completed demolition and had to remediate, which is one scenario that we recently have in our project, in one of our projects, sorry, the English. It's that's been completed. Then Antonio makes a document. He prepares a document, then he sends to the client where everything is laid out, with photos. This has been completed.
Yeah, that's important because, as I mentioned, my experience was for 10 years as a contract admin in construction. So this is what I did for 10 years. And having that background for me is to have everything recorded. So properly, with all the paperwork properly documented, and with photos, with field reports, change orders, site instructions, and in a commercial way for residential, which is not typical for our industry. The residential contracting companies, they are like more free to go, like
More relaxed.
smooth, more relaxed, and I so I take this very serious in my way to prepare paperwork for the client, and I think at the end they appreciate that the time and effort that we put in every single paper. For example, we provide to our clients a construction schedule, so a full construction Gantt for the whole project, so they can see, or they can see what to expect in the lead time that the construction is going to be built. The change orders well documented with the proper number, with the proper backup. Sorry. So those are things that we bring from the commercial industry to the residential. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
That's.
And you mentioned a couple of things like the documentation and scheduling and whatnot. Do you use a particular management software for projects?
Right now, I'm using Microsoft softwares, and I have used AI. So I'm working lately with, let's say, if I work with Excel, I include the cloud plugin to the Microsoft softwares. We use QuickBooks for bookkeeping, and now we are in conversations with JobTrade. This is JobTrade. Sorry, this is a construction management software, and links perfectly with
QuickBooks.
With QuickBooks, which is great, and this is what we are considering for the next.
I'm gonna have to get those guys to sponsor my podcast. I have their business card.
Yeah, here we go. See,
I was at a trade show in March and met those guys. Everybody that I interview is either on JobTread or moving to JobTread, so they're just dominating the market. And I think, Antonio, exactly as you said, is they have taken all the documentation and features of commercial software like a Procore, Builder, basically put it on the residential side, and are just attacking the market. How many projects are you guys typically turning out in a year?
So far this year, and we're in July, we have completed 5.
Yeah, five, and we're working on 3 right now.
Nice. That's great.
So,
very good.
And that includes like smaller projects, right? Like we have right now full main floor renovation. We just completed 3 bathroom renovations. We're working on
2 more.
Two bathroom, but also painting, refreshing the house.
Yeah, hand
railing, things like that.
We just started a kitchen renovation with the whole main floor, and this is in progress now.
We try to also make sure that we don't have too much at the same time,
yeah, that's
so
another
that
thing.
we
That's
can
key.
be fully present and available for our clients on each project.
Yeah, we like this boutique style company that we offer one by one connection with the client, and we make sure that the client is the principal key, or the principal character for this renovation or for this project.
We want to make sure that they feel serviced.
Yeah, and that's, I think, service for us is the keyword for everything that we do is service for the client.
Sure. Yeah. Before we get too far away from it, we were talking about software and AI. Sophia, have you dabbled into any AI uses in the design side?
Um, I have used AI, but I think it's just to, like Antonio said, we have our team that does the 3D and the renderings. It's just maybe to make those images like a little bit more photorealistic.
but doable as well.
Of course,
Yeah, in
that's
terms
why we
of
do our
materials.
own 3Ds and renderings, because I feel like sometimes AI, especially when it comes to the interior design or even like architecturally, it's not there yet.
Mhm.
So it makes things that don't make a lot of sense yet. But I think if it's something simple, let's just say I have a white vanity and I already know what type of wood I want and the stain that I want, I provide that image to AI and I say just replace this material in the vanity within seconds. So it's a quick tool to
But it's important
use.
what you mentioned, Sophia, that we don't use AI for design.
Mhm.
We have our own drafting and rendering stuff. And every single project that we do the 3D, we do the renders with the materials that Sophia select for each project. I haven't seen Sophia repeating a finish or a design for two clients. And that's part of the service that we offer as well as a designer. And it's like they will have a unique design, and everything that we present in 3D is going to be built as is shown. We put a lot of effort during the quotation phase, and that Sophia mentioned in the schematic design. I think we spent, I don't know how many hours, but we actually designed the whole space, and we present a 3D render for how that is gonna look at the end. And also different samples that Sophia bring to every single visit. The sample boards,
Yeah,
and
sample
also
board.
scales for finishes and fixtures. What else?
Well, of course, we use AI for things like you mentioned on the Claude with your Microsoft, and I've been trying also to use it because it's so helpful when it comes to wording things properly and things like that, right? Like I typically put my email together and then I just make sure that what I'm saying comes out the way I want it to sound. I think a lot of people are using it that way.
Yeah, and for in
creating
my
documents, things like that.
yeah, in my case, before I had to hire someone for financial projections and things like that I can do by myself using AI. Creating formulas or files for estimating for construction, actually the construction schedule. I'm doing right now the construction schedule with Excel, but that was created with AI, with cloud.
Mhm.
So everything is formulated and everything is working. It's pretty similar with how it's called, Microsoft Projects.
Mhm.
I think it's Projects. Yeah, the one that is for construction schedule. But it's pretty close, and I'm happy using this tool, and of course it saves you a lot of time of searching. Or in my case, English is not my first language.
What do
So
you mean in your case? Both our cases.
but in my case, I'm worse than you in English. But in my case, I make sure that every single email that I send is polished by AI, just to make sure that I'm not writing something wrong, something that I don't want to say or mean, right?
I think it's also important that people are reading after they run it through AI,
Mhm.
because not necessarily it's going to come out perfect, right? So I think it's important that people read what they run through AI before they send it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm only laughing because I think about times when I breeze through it. I'm like, oh, this is great. And then I reread it like, no, 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 we don't do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Very true.
Nice. I'm curious, what have been some of the challenges along the way? You know, like you guys seem to have been growing at a pretty healthy rate that you're happy with, and you know, where are some of the hurdles where you get stuck?
I think from my interior design side, I would say building those relationships. I think for us it's very important to have good, reliable partners when it comes to, you know, our providers in terms of tile, paint, fixtures, furniture. We want to make sure that what we offer to the client, it's a reliable product, but also the service behind it is important, because let's just say we buy a plumbing fixture, and if we don't have a company, if that fixture becomes defective, even though it's brand new, then we don't look good in front of the client, right? So it's important to have those reliable relationships with our partners, which at the end of the day, it's what's going to be important for the client. It's not only we build it, we finish, goodbye, right? If we have to come back because we have to service something, or we want to make sure that we have partners to go to, and they have answers, right, for us and for them. So I think that's been a process, creating those relationships.
Yeah, from my side, I can say the trades is something that is key for us to have this strong relationship with plumbers, with electricians, with HVAC guys, and these trades. Working with collaboration, I think, is key. Trust in your team, and certified people, licensed people, insured people. That's important.
And I'm going to ask both of you this separately, so you know we get each of your answers. But for somebody who is starting their own business in construction, whether it's new home or remodeling, design and build, Antonio, we'll start with you. What would you say is your main piece of advice that you would give to them?
This is a good question, because I remember the first time that I went to a networking event here in Calgary. I just came from my country, and a lady asked me, "What is you good at?"
What are you good at?
Yeah, and I was like, "Well, I'm good in too many things. I do project management, I draft, I do the render, I do. So no, you didn't listen. What are you good at?" And well, I'm saying, and I repeated this huge list, and it's the same for now for a person who wants to get into the industry. Is you need to study yourself with your strength. What you need to ask yourself, what I'm good at, what is my skills, what can I do, what can I offer to the industry. If you are a cleaner, you can be in the industry being a cleaner. If you are a drywaller, you can be in the industry
And
starting
be the best.
and be the best, and be the best being a drywaller. So it's starting with something that you are very good at. And after that, you can start bringing more services to your company, but you need to be the best doing something. I think that's the first key. And study the industry. This is not just to say, hey, I want to open a company because I want to be a drywaller. It's what is behind to have a company legally, with insurance, with permits, with finances. It's a lot of things that you need to be aware of once you decide to open a company. I think that's could be my advice for someone who wants to start a business.
And you always talk about the financials, right?
Yeah,
And
financials.
processes.
Yeah.
Antonio is so keen about processes, which I think is actually key for any company, to bring that organizational structure, because as a small company we can wear so many hats at the same time. And I think that's one of the things, going back to your question before, that maybe that's one of the struggles, because sometimes you wear all of them. And especially I found myself trying to be so perfectionist and trying to do, nobody's going to do it the way I do it. But at the end of the day, you have to rely on other people. They might even do it better than you half the time that you spend on it. And that's what's gonna take you to the next level.
And so that would be your answer, Sophia, is just the things that you said, or anything else that you want to add?
I think between what Antonio said and what I just mentioned, I think I still struggle with processes because it's not something that I learn in school.
Mm-hmm.
For example, it's something that I think it's part of real life, and Antonio has been focusing about implementing systems in our company, and I've seen the results. So I think it's definitely worth looking and also relying on the tools that are out there. Like, I know we talked about AI, use it smartly. Don't rely only or entirely on it, because it's not there in certain areas, especially when it comes to design. But I think there are many ways that we can use it properly, and also be cautious about it, because we have to think about intellectual property and copywriting. It's important. So things like that.
And to close the for someone who wants to start a company, ask to other companies what you want to do. It's sometimes we feel like dumb. I don't want to ask because I don't know what they want to say. That I don't want to show weak. And my advice for someone who wants to start is ask
questions.
Ask questions to someone you rely on. It's like, hey Antonio, I'm thinking to start a company. What is your experience? What can I do? Who is your accountant? Who is your lawyer? Who is so? There are too many people who wants to help, including me, and I wish I had people who ask at the beginning. We waste a lot of time, a lot of money, learning, and because we didn't have the right people to ask, or we had people next to us doing wrong things in the wrong way, and we learned from that. So
of course, you're gonna find people that have big egos and don't want to share a lot of
yeah.
information, but there's a lot of people in the industry that are open to share. We've been attending a lot of networking. I think that's part of that. Groups, connect with groups that are open to talk about their experience, what they've been doing wrong, what can we change, and collectively, as a community, how can we improve, each in their own businesses. And then the other thing I think is, ask yourself, I think maybe that question about what I don't want to be, or what I don't want to do.
That's
now you
important.
know what you don't want to do, and now that leaves the door open, so I can focus maybe on this or maybe on that. And don't quit. It takes time.
Don't wait. Yeah.
Don't quit. There are days, of course,
Oh yeah.
especially when you're starting, you're like, oh, why am I doing
And especially
this?
for me, that I receive offers, job offers, like every week, and I don't want to open those offers because I know those are going to be very juicy offers. And yeah, the temptation is there that don't quit. This
We're
is
in the
an
right
industry.
path,
We are in
so.
the right path. We are in the right industry. There is a lot of money in this industry, and be reliable, I think, is the word. That trust in the process. Do not get frustrated with rejections. To deal with frustration is key for this industry. In our cases, I think for every 10 or 12 quotes, we have a close. So there is a lot of time, a lot of work involved in the closing process for one project. And for us, of course, at the beginning, it was very frustrating when we put all this effort in one design, and no, at the end, okay, thank you very much, but
we don't have
I
the
don't
budget,
have
right?
that budget, and or I went with another contractor. So be open that you will get rejections, and do not get
objections.
And do not get frustrated for those things.
It'll come a better time. So I think it's about patience.
It kind of reminds me, the sort of joke they say about self-employment is you work 80 hours a week for yourself so you don't have to work 40 for somebody else.
That's exactly how it is.
Yeah. And especially for us as a couple, it's hard because sometimes we want to have this couple time, right? Like talking about our kids, or talking about family, or talking about us. And we ended...
Somehow we always end up talking about work.
So it's like having this disconnection as a couple is hard. It's not easy at all. But we decided
we love it.
In
We're passionate
entrepreneurship,
about it, so.
But
yeah,
I think I should have a couples segment, where I have like a round table where couples that work together could come on and all talk about the dynamic and how they keep their boundaries healthy. I think that'd be a good episode.
That would be very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, before we wind things down, we always ask this question, and I want to make sure we don't forget that. So this is the Topping Off podcast, where we always are curious, does people celebrate the completion of a structure, completion of a project? So do you have a topping off ritual at any point in your projects?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, you can say.
We at the end of our projects, we create a reveal for our clients. That moment when we turn the house back to them. So we have a backdrop, and then we reveal it to the client. They're so excited. They want to see it. Because I do a styling before they come into the house sometimes, or most of the times they're living in the house, but maybe a few weeks before we reveal it, they'd move out for a little bit, or even a couple hours, and I go in, do the styling, and then we cover it when they get in. They're like, wow, this is how it finally looks.
Yeah, we found that actually last year when we were talking with a couple of friends, clients, and they mentioned that they were watching a lot of TV shows for construction. So, okay, we dream for this. Hey, are you ready, guys? Okay. We were listening.
Kind of like your HGTV show.
Yeah, so we said, you know what, we can do that. And especially they mentioned, hey, you guys are a couple. Like you should probably get a TV show because you are awesome. You are a couple, and your dynamic and your energy that you bring to the projects, and how you guys deal with everything. And so we thought, you know what, we should do this
let's start implementing the reveal.
And they loved it. So for us, it's something that we do for our clients. We have a different things that we do. The reveal is one. The second, before the reveal, we style. So Sofia style the whole space. Formal reveal, we have a toast with them. And after that, we give gifts.
We prepare a little gift for
our clients, and formal professional photos.
We schedule that after.
And that's gonna be like that. That's our ritual for closing each project.
I think it's so wise that you do the reveal with the client. I mean, I don't even remember where I read it, but some case study basically talked about how the thing that people always take away is how an experience ends. So like, even if a meal is kind of bad, but it has like a great ending, like people will remember that it ended well. And so like, some people finish the project and they're, bye, here's the bill. It's kind of like very anticlimactic. So to sort of have this like exciting moment, I'm sure your clients rave about you and say like, it was awesome. I felt like I was on TV and had this superstar experience. I mean, it's kudos to you for formalizing that. I think that's great. And I hope people,
thanks.
Not to say I want them to copy your style, but I hope that people are inspired by what you do and make their own, exciting way to do that. So
thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of emotions at that moment. So it definitely creates that memory moment for them and us as well.
Yeah, that's important because when we were, we chat about work all the time. So one of the things that we were chatting is the importance for us as contractors or designers. The real thing for us is that moment, is that right moment when we see
In their
the happiness
right?
from our clients. It's like, wow, this is my space. Wow, this is better
Than
than I
imagined.
imagine.
Yeah.
And thank you, Sofia. Thank you, Antonio. Oh, we are so happy. That is the key moment for us. Is that reveal moment.
It's
And
rewarding.
and we always remember that moment for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, we are about to wind down, and I want to make sure that anybody who wants to reach out to you guys can get a hold of you. So where can listeners find you both?
Well, they can find us in Instagram, or website, americas.ca, or you can...
America's GC.
Americas GC. What is it?
You said America's.ca.
Okay, sorry. Americas.gc.ca.
General contracting.
Yeah, americasgc.ca. And also, they can call us or send us a text to the 587-999-2110 or the 587-582-1983. Where else?
Instagram.
In Google also.
Or Google as well.
Yeah.
America's General Contracting. Yeah. InColorStudio.com.
Antonio, Sofia, I appreciate you both coming on very much. Really loved hearing how you balance, married life and family and just wonderful design talent, all under one roof and really put people first. So hope a lot of people get inspiration for their own companies out of it. So thank you again for coming on. And for those listening, if you're watching this on YouTube, we'd love a comment, a like, a subscribe. Tell us what your favorite part of the interview was. If you're on Apple or Spotify, we would love for you to give us a rating, share with a friend, and we will see you next time on the Topping Off podcast.